Hey everyone, it's Michael Fair from FilmFestivalCircuit.com, and today we are going to talk to director Harry Waldman, who has a couple of films and a couple of festivals in our network. We're going to take care of it today all at the same time. First, we're going to talk about the Texas Short Film Festival, Fall 2024, coming up at the Alamo Drafthouse Stone Oak on the north side of San Antonio, and we're going to talk about the film Bay for Blood. Harry, how's it going, my man?
Awesome. Super happy to be here.
All right. Well, nominated for the Best Dark Drama Film Award. What is this film about?
So yeah, this film, it's one that's very personal to me. It is basically about a dark and somewhat disturbing relationship between two people James and Rob, who are supposedly friends. I won't give away too much regarding how their relationship sort of spirals downhill, but you get the feeling pretty early on they don't like each other too much. And as the film progresses, there are a couple twists and turns that sort of reveal kind of why they feel the way they do about each other. And there's a third character, Jessica, who happens to be an acquaintance of James, who kind of finds herself stuck in the middle of that situation. And yeah, it's a film that's very personal to me. There are pieces of myself in the characters, and the relationship between James and Rob, while nothing nearly that disturbing happened between us, it is loosely based on a relationship that I had with somebody in high school who I thought was my friend, but I later learned was not so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that whole frenemies type situation, and I don't want to reveal too much, but definitely you have a way of building up tension in these relationships. And dark drama seems to be your category, because there's another film that's going to be in Austin Microfilm Festival Fall 2024, and it is called Enter the Room. Tell us what that one's about and why you decided to create that one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so Enter the Room is about two brothers, Jeremy and Brian, and Jeremy's new to the city. He just landed an acting gig, and he's going to be staying with Brian, and the two characters could not be more different. Jeremy's a little bit more laid back, go with the flow, but also maybe a bit of a slob, and Brian could not be the more opposite. He's a bit of a control freak, to put it lightly, and yeah, as Jeremy starts staying with Brian, even though the two are brothers, they hadn't seen each other in a bit, and basically everything Jeremy does kind of just rubs Brian the wrong way. And things build up, and kind of similar to Bay for Blood, as the film progresses, you learn a few things about the two characters' past that's kind of shaped the way they became. And this one is extremely personal to me, as much or even more than Bay for Blood, in that the relationship between Jeremy and Brian is based on a relationship that I had with a roommate my freshman year of college. And, a lot of where the script came from with the various things that Brian accuses Jeremy of throughout the film were actual things my roommate said to me and accused me of. So, yeah.
Wow. All right. So you put a lot of personal into your stories, a lot of personal experience. And it seems to come from, like life experiences. On some of your future projects that you're working on, are you pulling from some personal places? Or are you going to branch out and do any other genres? Like what's the story? What's going on next for you?
Yeah, of course. Apologies about that.
No worries.
Yeah, you'd asked about my sort of projects coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some of the projects that I'm currently working on, I have a feature film, The Corridor Crossing. And just to give a little backstory on that, as you had mentioned, a lot of my films, while they get a little wacky and hyper stylized, I think the root of them they're pretty character based, pretty dialogue heavy. So The Corridor Crossing, kind of like Enter the Room and Bay for Blood, they're the three main characters. A couple of them are based on pieces of myself and friends I knew in high school. But anyway, to give a little background on it, it's about these three friends who, the relationship isn't quite as toxic as in the two short films, but there's some things going on between a couple of them. And basically a lost bet leads to one character, Alex, having to walk through this cave, which is near the main character, Jake's house. And when he comes out of the cave, his personality seems like it's flipped. And in the beginning, the two friends just think, well, he maybe he's being a sore loser, and then but as the oddball behavior continues, the main character Jake starts to worry if he saw something in the cave that had messed with his head, had maybe scarred him. So Jake decides to walk in through the cave, and he walks in, walks out, nothing special, just an ordinary kind of pitch black cave. But after he comes out, he notices that everyone else is acting kind of strange around him. His parents, who he has a very healthy relationship with, are nowhere to be found. His other friends suddenly are acting like they don't know who he is. And he finally stumbles into Alex, and Alex pulls him aside. And while they both find it hard to believe, they come up with the conclusion that they think maybe after they walked through this cave, they stumbled into an alternate universe. And the rest of the film basically revolves around them trying to find out how to get back to their universe. And while that's happening, Jake's parents finally show up, and there's some tension there, and he's worrying that they're onto him, and they think that this isn't their actual son. And I won't give away what happens at the end, but kind of like with my shorts, Enter the Room and Bay for Blood, things spiral a little out of control at the end as things progress. But yeah, so that's my first feature film, and that one is going to be in post-production for a long time. But it's going well. It's been an absolute blast to make. I think it's actually been my favorite project I've worked on. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to finally get that one finished and get it out to festivals. Couple other projects I'm working on. I actually have another feature film in Cautious, which that one, like all my other projects, based on myself, based on some relationships I had with friends as a kid, that one's more of a drama than a sort of dark drama horror film. But it's basically just based on some of the crazy life experiences I had as a younger kid in like elementary school with some of my close friends who lived down the block from me, and some of the things that happened with their parents too. So that one, I've outlined the whole story. I do need to get the script started, but I feel very good about the sort of meat and potatoes of the story. So I'm going to get started on the script for that pretty soon, and then get the shot list down and hopefully get that one into production next fall. Yeah, and then the last project that I'm currently working on is I've actually started to dabble in animation. I drew a lot as a kid. My dad's actually an artist and an art teacher. It's something I hadn't done for a while, but he had worked on one animated film back in college, and he kind of kept bringing it up to me, how much he liked working on it, and he hadn't done anything like that since. And as someone who's always been an avid fan of animated films, a light bulb kind of popped onto my head, and I said, why don't we work on a project together? So we have the short animated film idea, Slivered, which is basically just a metaphor for not being able to find the right fit. And it's going to take place in this kind of dark fantasy world with this sort of monster running around this underground sewer where he's trying to find a key to get to this door so he can get out of the underground sewer, but nothing's matching. So that's probably just going to be a quick few minute micro short film, but we're storyboarding now, so we're still in the pretty early stages of the film, and it's definitely taking a little longer than I'd thought, especially because we both personally don't have any experience with actually animating stuff. But I'm really happy with how the monster's looking, how the underground sewer cave looks, and I'm super excited to eventually get that one into production and get that one out to festivals once it's finished.
All right, good stuff, man. You're busy. You got just production after production, and it's not every day that you hear somebody say, "Hey, by the way, I think I'm gonna start animating stuff." So you're putting a lot on your plate. So if somebody wants to follow your projects, and see we have your Instagram handle up here, are they going to find updates to everything you were talking about today?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my Instagram, like you mentioned, hwaldman18. I have my full name's Harry Waldman. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Stage 32, YouTube and Vimeo channel, etc. And probably the quickest way to find my social media handles and information is you just Google Harry Waldman filmmaker or Edgewater Film Productions. All my information and social media handles should come up right away.
All right, good stuff. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Nothing else specific. Just thanks so much for taking the time to interview me, talk about me with my projects, and it's awesome to be a part of these festivals.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate it, my man. Yeah, I think that we look forward to seeing the reaction to your films, the way they build up and escalate. I've seen people watch, especially Into the Room and that last editing sequence that you have, and I've seen people just glued. No one's on their phone. Like it's really cool. So I can't wait to show both of these movies in the same week, September the 16th. Will be Austin Micro Film Festival, which will be at Austin Film Society Cinema. And then on that Wednesday, the 18th, we'll be up at Alamo Draft House. So come check us out, get tickets and support, and do some networking if you can. So Harry, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right.